back to our guy's garage. Well, we missed a week last week. Didn't have any content to put up because it's been like the Arctic Circle around here in Georgia lately. So, but we finally got back to some fairly warm weather. It's in 40s today, so just wasn't going to come out here and work in the teens. Just too darn cold, you know. But hey, we're back. So anyway, welcome. And it's late afternoon, actually early evening. Still in coffee mode, just because it's cold out. Still cold. But what do we have on the list for today? Well, we got to get some maintenance done in the garage. That's what we got to do. Golf cart, we'll get into that in just a few minutes, but got to do some maintenance. Garage doors act kind of wonky, so I think it's about time to change the rollers. So that we're going to do that today. And I know you can't see it, and I'll bring it in here in just a few minutes and show it to you up close and in person, like. But the weather strip on the bottom of the garage door is also shrunk for some unknown reason. I don't know how that happens, but it has, and it's time to replace that as well. That the bottom seal on the garage door. So we've gotten this off, actually both of these off the old Amazon website, and we're going to do some maintenance on the garage door. So basically, what it's going to take these and change these rollers out is I have to remove the hinges one at a time. Obvious reasons, because you don't want that end up here, right? Makes sense. So with that being said, we're going to do one at a time. There is 10 altogether, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 10 altogether. So we're going to replace them. Before we put the new ones in, we're going to spray them down good with some lube. These are a plasticky style, which should run a lot smoother. The ones that are in are metal, and I'm sure they're many years old. So that's what we're going to do today. So stick with me. Be right back. Let's get started on this. So as you can see, we have daylight. Not good for trying to keep the garage warm. I've just got one of the, I don't have any kind of real heat out here per se. I've got one of those propane fired forced air heaters. I don't know, I think it's about 40,000 BTU, but it would stay a whole lot warmer in here if we could get that gap sealed up. I may even look and see. I can't remember if there's any kind of weather stripping on the outside of the garage door. I'm gonna have to look at that to check that and see. I don't know if this is the correct weather stripping for the bottom of that. We're gonna have to get the garage door open and take a look at it to find out. But for right now, we need to get going on these new rollers. And before I put them on, I'm gonna get some silicone spray and spritz these things so that they're good and lubricated. So stick with me, be right back. Let's get started on this. Okay, so 4 bolts hold these on. They're just basically self-tapping machine screw, not machine screws, but self-tapping sheet metal screws that are put on. I've gone ahead and loosened them real quick. For some unknown reason, they used 2 different size screws. Probably because they were put on by the garage door installer, and that's what they had. So, all right, so. All right, so like I said, this is a fairly simple repair. As you can see, it took me all of about 30 seconds to get those out of there. Kind of a pain that they use 2 different size screws, but that is what it is. Yeah, that's all there is to it. I think the whole set of new rollers cost, oh boy, I got them off the old Amazon website. I want to say they cost $17, $18-ish. Of course, as always, drop a link to them. We'll drop a link to them in the bottom. Now, bear in mind, this has nothing to do with springs or any of that nonsense. Luckily, I have one of the garage doors that does not require any special tools to replace the springs should that need arise, but I'm going to caution you right here and now. If you've got a spring, if you've got a garage door with a spring that goes all the way across the front and top, all the way across the top of the garage door, don't touch it. Do not touch it. Do not touch it. Please do not touch it. Because if you go start messing with that thing, it'll pop out, it'll come off, and it will kill you. So don't mess with it. Just strictly replacing the rollers on this one for this job and that bottom seal. So, all right, let's get this back in. All you got to do is just kind of angle it back in there a little bit. And the 2 7/16 heads on the bottom here. And believe it or not, there is a right way and a wrong way to put these hinges back in. So, of course, take note of the way they came out. Make sure you put them back in the same way. There's the sleeve for the roller, and then there's the actual hinge point. On mine, all the hinge points are on the top. So there is a right way and a wrong way to put them in. And down a little bit further, you'll see where there is no hinge point. There's no separate sleeve for the roller itself. It actually just goes right through the sleeve, but that's for the ones toward the bottom. So let's get these put back in. All right, and I won't film all of them, not necessary. So just rinse and repeat 9 more times. So let me get the rest of these put in real quick. I'll bring it back for the last one, and we'll move on to the bottom seal. So make sure you stick with me, and I'll be right back. It's time to get the heat back on. Good afternoon. Welcome back, Retired Guys Garage. All right, so when I left you last, we were replacing the rollers on my garage door, and we were going to put a new seal under the garage door as well, kind of keep out some of the cold air, keep the heat in, because at that time it was cold out. So it has since warmed up. You know, it's Georgia. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute, kind of like Buffalo. Hey, that was no dig on Buffalo. Don't start the hate mail. I'm from Buffalo. I love Buffalo. Anyway, so remember what I told you. If you have any questions, or you don't know exactly what's going on, or you're not exactly sure how to do a job, better to let the professionals handle it. You know, I've always told you that. So, with that being said, we had a very, very, very exciting few seconds while I was changing out the rollers, because in my haste to get everything done, you know the old saying, haste makes waste. Yes, it does. So in my haste to get all the rollers in, because I wanted to get on to getting that seal on, because it was cold out at the time, I wanted to get the garage sealed up better. Well, you see this. I don't know if this is going to come out on camera, but this is not good. This is bad. This dangling here is not a good thing. This is a bad thing. So, what I failed to remember was the fact that this cable is what is connected to the spring, which helps take the tension off the garage door and helps the garage door go up. And in my haste to get that apart and get all the new rollers in, well, I forgot that the cable is attached to the bottom roller. So, yeah, that made for an exciting few seconds as the cable came flying out and luckily didn't damage anything. Luckily. So, like I said, I always tell you, take your time, check, double check, and I should take my own advice sometimes. So, with that being said, how do we unscrew what I've screwed up? Well, that's the $100,000 question. So, on this style of garage door with the garage in the complete up position, all of the tension is off the springs. So somehow I need to get the garage door up with only one spring now connected because I need to reconnect this cable. So I tried it a couple times the other day. All I did was end up screwing up more stuff that I didn't need to, and messed up one of the hinges. I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if it's going to come out on camera, but I ended up having to put a new hinge on, ordered that from the old Amazon website. Of course, I'll drop a link to that down in the down at the bottom. So ended up having to put a new hinge on. All in all, you know, it was $8, I think, or so. So not a big expense, but still, should have waited. But with that being said, somehow we've got to unscrew the screw up. My goodness, excuse me. So, my neighbor Chad's going to come over here in a little while, and hopefully between the two of us we can get this garage door up and get that cable reconnected. Because if we can't, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I will figure it out. One of the biggest problems I was having the other day was when I was trying to raise the garage door kept wanting to go up sideways and not straight because, you know, you've got a spring helping you on the other side and you've got me on this side. So the garage was kind of going up cockeyed, the rollers kept falling out, which is why this ended up having to be replaced because the roller got out and then kind of cocked and stayed there and bent the living fool out of that hinge. So that was not fun. That was, like I said, that was a pretty exciting couple of seconds when that thing came loose. Luckily, there is a safety cable that runs through the center of that spring. Otherwise, it would have been very exciting. You know, we got the Trans Am sitting here. We really don't want nothing to happen to that. So, yeah. But anyway, so what we're going to do today, we're going to attempt to get this garage door open. If we can get the garage door open, I can get that cable back connected to the bottom of the door, and we'll be all set. So, only thing I'll have to do is drop it down and reconnect the garage door opener, which I've disconnected so that we can manually raise the garage door. So, that's where we're at. After that, and while the garage door is in the up position, only roller I've got left to replace is the lower one on that side, and lesson learned, we're not going to take it off while it's in the closed position because we don't need another exciting couple of seconds on the other side to match this side. So what I've done in order to maybe hopefully not allow these rollers to come back out and maybe help the garage door go up straight is I've clamped some vice grips onto the ends of the rollers so that they cannot come out of the hinges. I did not clamp them up tight. Clamp them out a little bit, giving a little bit of room to move around if they need to, but hopefully not enough to come completely out so the garage door starts falling down. Because I can tell you from experience, that's also a very exciting couple of seconds when that garage door, when the rollers came out, and the garage door was partially up. So, yeah, again, that was another couple of exciting seconds. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just waiting on the neighbor. He's working on his tractor. So right now, but we're gonna get this. Hopefully, get this garage door up so I can get this fixed. So stick with me. I'll be right back, and let's get this fixed. Hey, welcome back. So I know you can't tell because the garage door is closed, but it is the next day. Was able to finally get the garage door open without that spring being attached. So my neighbor Chad came over and gave me a hand with it, and so I really appreciate the help. Huge shout out to him for coming over and bailing the guy out. But with that being said, got everything put back together. Everything was fine. Got over and got that one last roller put in that I needed to do. So I just basically disconnected the garage door from the opener, opened the door up as far as it would go by hand, put a vice grip on this rail to hold the door open so we would take all the tension off the springs, buzz the bracket off, change the roller, buzz the bracket back on, and drop the door down, hook the garage door opener back up, and everything's fine. So again, this project may not be for everybody. Not everybody might be comfortable doing this one, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Safety first. There's no garage door that's worth getting killed over. So, like I said, the only reason I even attempted this project was because this style of garage door with the springs, the two separate springs on either side, much lower danger of getting injured on this style of garage door. If you got the type garage door with that big round spring going across the top of it, I wouldn't even mess with it. I'd call a garage door specialist because that's why they get paid the big bucks, because they know how to handle that stuff. So, and there's no shame in calling the professionals when you need them. So, with that being said, that is going to wrap it up for this video. As always, appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. And while you're there, hey, hit that subscribe button. And doesn't cost you a plug nickel. Doesn't cost you nothing. And you're already there, clicking on stuff. So hit that subscribe button. That'd be great. And of course, make sure if you would have done something differently, or going to call me an idiot for getting ahead of myself and not thinking about the fact that spring was attached down on the bottom bracket, feel free. I promise you I read them all and I will respond to them. So if you want to catch me on any of the other social medias, of course I'm right here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at The Retired Guys Garage, and on X, trgg2024 at gmail.com. TRG, yeah, that's my email address, trgg2024 at gmail.com. And you can catch me on X at trgg2024. So, as always, appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. It means more than you know. And until the next time, y'all please be safe and take care. Bye for now.